This time, let's go ahead and get started with our pre-council meeting. Yes. It's on. Can you hear me now? This mask is stopping everything. Tonight's opening prayer will be done by Councilwoman Colvin. Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mr. Al Jones. We'll need to approve the minutes of July 6, 2020 regular council meeting, and to approve the agenda for tonight, July 20th, 2020. Public hearing, we had on schedule to have a moratorium public hearing. At this time, the council would like to postpone the public hearing and ordinance that was requested by the Chamber of Commerce and Main Street. I don't think we really had enough time or really ready to vote on this as it is at this time. The council would like to further review and hear more from the Chamber of Main Street before we make our decision. Is that pretty well cover everyone's feelings? Okay. And when we get time to approve the agenda, we'll make a motion to remove that and approve the agenda. All right, Amanda? Okay. Reports from standing committees. We'll have reports from all the standing committees. Proclamations, there will be none. Reports from special committee, there's none. Report on status of city finances, there's none. Unfinished business, none. Under new business, which is the ordinance that we'll be looking at tabling that and talking about it at a different time. Item number 2, Resolution 2078 is a resolution to award bid 2018 Haycrest paving for the year 2020 to Gary Ingram Grading and Paving for the amount not to exceed $895,000, $349. Gerard, do you want to discuss that?
Yeah. We put that thing out to bid for regular April paving project, and we put it out thinking it'd be about $900,000. It came back about $5,000 total under. So we're doing about the same amount we normally do, close to I think around 4.5, maybe 5 miles this time. I have to double check that, but that's about what we're going to hit this time. Would start within 30 days of the award tonight.
This is our half-cent sales tax payment we do every year.
Yeah. This year it'll be broken down about $1 million, roughly $1 million, or a little less than $1 million in the major M&R, about $50,000 on patching, on wholesale patching, and then about $20,000-$25,000 on striping is the way we'll spend it this year, which is about what we try to spend every year roughly.
Okay. You guys got questions for Gerard? Why is that?
The micropaver. Yeah, the micropaver. I think there's a lot of questions or a lot of issues. I'll say issues. A lot of people don't understand it, and I understand why they don't understand it. It takes a while to get a feel for the way micropaver works, but what it tries to do is it tries to put the money in the place where you get the most bang for your buck, you get the most mileage per time. I've talked individually to council people at times, but basically the idea is that, we could go for, say, a street that scored maybe a 10 out of 100, and we might spend our entire amount on maybe 2 miles, 1.5 miles of street, something like that. If we go for some of the streets that are not quite that bad, not good, but not that bad, we may get 4.5, 5 miles. And at first glance, it doesn't seem like that much, but over time, it really makes a difference. We are beginning to see that it's starting to look like that the pockets of paving we've done for several years is starting to kind of get close to each other. So beginning to get a feel of the network effect of using this software, and I really like it, and I really think it's doing what it's intended to do, which is to put the most on the ground with the money that you've got.
Now, with that software you use, I guess you have some sort of instrument that you go out and actually read the road and tells the depth.
We go out and grade them. We do 1/4 of all the streets every year. We did them all on the first pass, which graded all the streets, and then out of every street is graded. 25% of the city is graded every year. The software will predict the decrease in score over the years, but you're basically just verifying it with when you go out and do an evaluation. There's nothing that you measure with any kind of instrument. You go out and you pick 100 feet along the center line of the road at a sample location, and there's a very detailed sheet you fill out about what's wrong with the road, what defects are there, and how to score those. So it's a pretty in-depth process. It's an ASTM procedure, which is certified by, an authority that looks at that type of thing. Oh, we do all the inspections ourselves. All the inspections are done in-house. Now, we will use an outside firm at times with the software, but mostly all of it's in-house.
All right, let me put you on the spot a little
Okay.
bit here, Gerard. I know a lot of roads out there, and some of them in my district, a lot of them in my district, have never had anything done to them but tar and gravel. And I hear this every day. Our roads only been tar and
Right.
gravel. When you go out and measure that takes that into consideration.
It
So
does.
These that's been tar and graveled are in better shape than the ones that you're going to pave.
There are some streets that we will pay some streets this time that you can find some streets that are in worse shape. I can think of 5 that come to mind right now. And again, the concept is if we spent the money on those streets, we would literally be maybe halving or more the amount of streets that we could get. So, but we do have a plan. The mayor and I have discussed it, and it's not something that anybody's comfortable with. It's the idea that once the street gets beyond a certain amount, there's nothing can be done. We're going to try to make projects out of them. We hit one last year. Went off David Highway across from Dairy Cream. It was Adamson Street. We hit it last year as a project. It would have been
That was
one of those.
just a little short.
Little short, but it was one that we were just trying to get our feet wet on, working on a project.
Airhead Loop.
Airhead Loop. That's exactly right. Well, one side we already hit, Mayor. We hit one side last year, and the other side we haven't hit yet, and it's terrible too. But that's one that we did. Yep, that's right. So we do have a plan. It's not very fast. We try to spend other money if we can, but we would love to be able to hit those streets that score a 10 or a 5, or it's just they're so expensive per linear foot of center line that it's hard to spend that money there like that.
I've got an idea. I was dedicated to this type of thing. For those streets that Gerard, I hate to tell people, your street's too bad for us to pay.
You tell that in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
We got to start taxing the streets. Jordan knows that, he wants to tax them, so we got to find a little money to do that. And we want to use our, what do you call that, new road tax money.
Reclaim Alabama, Reclaim Alabama.
And Alabama plus, but there's more money like dedicated to that every year. But how, maybe you'll do it about right. If they can go do a road. They're going to do that. In addition to the money, we need a way to start it, guys.
Because it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
It's only getting worse.
Yeah, the worst ones are only getting worse. Yeah.
And that's the biggest complaint.
Biggest street condition.
Yeah. And it is hard to try to explain that.
It is. I agree.
Yeah,
I understand.
it is what it is.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. I mean, I know it's the question we get year round as a city councilman, and what everybody needs to understand, and I can speak for the rest of the council too. Council has nothing to do with when your street's going to get paved.
No, it's coming off the software. We run that major M&R off the software. We tell it how much budget we have, and it spits out the streets. And it's got a pretty in-depth reasoning behind why it selects those. It's not just a random selection. It's based on how it's failing, how fast it's failing. It has to do with the type of failure. Is it worthy of being put into that category? There's a lot of factors that go into the decision.
Gerard, do you think we could, since we do have, I guess in the next month or so, we'll start the paving, maybe as a city project, maybe to show highway road was selected in the process of how we got there, so people in the community can see that. I think that'd be beneficial for
Yeah, we could go
people in the
through.
community to see step one to how they actually got selected for the road toward the acre project.
Yeah, I mentioned to Cliff right before we started that I'll be glad to sit down with him and talk about micropaver and explain all that. But if you want to do a case history on one, or if you want to just talk about the way we go through the process, whatever you guys would like to, guys and girls would like to see, we'll be glad to provide you whatever you need.
Because it's easy for us, because we've gotten to talk to you, but like Scott said, it'd be nice to show the citizens,
Yeah.
because it's really hard.
I agree.
It's very difficult for us to try to explain.
I understand it. It's hard for me. I get a lot of complaints about it. It's hard for somebody to understand why, if their street's worse than the one you're paving, why you're not paving. And it's all about money. I mean, it's all about trying to make that dollar go as far as it can, and it's not any more complicated than that. But we do, I'll add this too, is we do want to keep those roads safe. It's extremely important that we keep them safe. They won't be pretty, and they'll be tar and gravel patched, but they will be safe. There is, we're not going to let one go to the point that it's not safe. We will tar and gravel patch it, which is not attractive and doesn't ride well, but it doesn't cause accidents.
Okay. Anybody else got questions for Jordan? Thank you, Jordan. Okay, item number 3 is a resolution to set a public hearing to rezone parcel 62050931-102-24. I believe this is out on Highway 280. Al Jones, you want to tell us about this piece of property we want to rezone?
We had I believe Miss Anderson come to us, who had purchased a house. The best way I know how to tell you where it is, if you're headed out of town, you go by Ronnie Walters' old service station. There's a house back to the left, kind of behind there. And she came to us. She had an idea to have a business there that sells monuments for graves, that type of thing. Markers, not monuments, but markers, not just monuments. I didn't want to make it sound like everything was going to be super tall. Some monuments, some just grave markers. She came before the Planning Commission a week or so ago. Mr. Mark Lamborn is over our Planning Commission. He firmly believes, and I don't disagree, that everything on 280 should be Zone B2, at least B2. Everything should have a business zoning, because that's what we want on 280 is businesses. So that went before the Planning Commission. Ms. Anderson assured us that the display that she might have out there would be tasteful and low-key. It wouldn't be, something that was a detractor as you're coming into or out of town, that it would be closer to the back of the house, and that it wouldn't be, where it would just be so clear that you'd say, hey, look at that going out of town. So it did go for the Planning Commission. All the planning commissioners voted yes. It was 100% that they agreed that it should be allowed. So the next step was to bring it to y'all and to set a public hearing. So that's where we stand.
Mark, is that house actually on 280, or is it on the little road that goes to Spring Hill? I know where it is, but yeah. Right. Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Lacey explained to us, she was just going to use personal driveway. She did say that she was going to put up a sign, and I requested that she move towards what we've been trying to move towards monument signs instead of billboard type signs out there, and she agreed that she would look into that and work towards that. But I really think the way to do it to make it a real nice thing.
Okay.
I think it's off of 280.
She has a 280 address.
Yes, they can only drive everything in and
And she assured us that she talked to her next door neighbor and said there's going to be a public hearing and you're welcome to come say what you would like to say. And the gentleman said
Okay.
Any other questions?
I think she contacted several people on the council, and I think we all, well, I can't speak for everybody, but I know I agree. Any business coming to town that's tax revenue, I'd rather locate in the city than right outside the city limits, and we're not get taxes off of it, so glad to have her in town. Appreciate the planning committee's support with it.
To reiterate what Mark and I, as well as Bobby was saying, I think what makes this positive is it's an existing business that is growing, so she was looking to expand her business. So I think that that's what makes this a positive as well. And she did assure us on the planning commission that she would do whatever she could to make it as seamless as possible.
All right. Item number 4 is a resolution 2080, a resolution set public hearing to revoke the business license for this and that. This is something that we did at our last council meeting, but Amanda caught it and realized that we need to have a public hearing. And Amanda, you want to go ahead and explain some of that? Okay. Any questions, Commander? Thank you, Commander. Thank you for catching that. Item 5 is a resolution to declare personal property no longer needed for public use or municipal use. I guess this is material we got in the gas department. Is Chris here? Okay. Amanda, you want to just kind of briefly, or Miles? Okay. They're gonna sell it, and we're gonna reap the benefit. I'm sure a lot of that is copper and brass as well. All right, item number 6, resolution 2082, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an Alabama Recycling Fund grant agreement with the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. This is something we did years. Gerard, did you want to speak on that? Kristen?
It is for a vertical baler that we'll use for plastic. We've got a horizontal baler that we use for cardboard. And Amanda was asking me some hard questions, and I'm not sure I know all the details on, but it's about a $20,000 baler that we put in last year. The thing is about 30 years old when it's there. It was there when I got here and been here for probably 10 years then, so it's just worn out.
Okay.
But this will be, I think the check will come in the next couple of weeks, and that was she said, Amanda, so we should get the money for it. Actually, that's not true. The check, it's a reimbursement process, so we put it in our budget, and then we'll get the actual check made in later. It's like a big, fancy, fake check, I think, that comes right now.
Yeah. Any questions?
That's the one that's outside, it's not one under the cover.
That's right. It's the one that's under that little roof that's built out to the side from the main building.
Thank you, Gerard. Item number 7, resolution 2083, will be a resolution to authorize the mayor to apply for a 2020 Edward Byram Justice Assistance Grant and execute upon approval. Captain Orr, did you want to mention something on that?
Yeah, it's our GAG grant. We worked every year to get this grant to the Department of Justice. It is a $10,000 and change. I'm not sure exactly the name of it. But it's a grant that we use to purchase equipment. We haven't made a decision on the kind of equipment yet. We also have to share that amount with the county. We get $10,000 and they get $10,000.
Okay. Any questions for James Wonder?
I think I'll continue applying and receiving this grant, because anything that the police department needs and the sheriff of the county, you know, it all goes to a good cause. So you don't deserve that and more.
Thank you, Captain. Item number 8, resolution 2084, a resolution to designate right-of-way maintenance responsibility at Patriot Point. And I know we all know where this is a flagpole. That thing was put out there how many years ago? And I know a lot of people in my district have questioned, who does upkeep on that. I'm gonna let Al cover what's going on with that situation.
Back in 1991, there was a resolution from the city council that entered into agreement with AlDOT and Russell Lands to use that piece of right-of-way, totally owned by AlDOT, to put the flag up. The problem with that agreement was it was very vague, and it did not lay out who was responsible for what going forward with maintenance. And as Tim alluded to a while ago, he's getting some questions about why the trees grown up around Patriots Point. I've heard it. I'm sure all of you have heard that. And the answer is because since 1991, there's been no designation of duties. And what this agreement would do would set those duties between three parties. And it's a very simple agreement. The city would go back and cut the trees and stage them for pickup. They would cut them down, get them ready to be picked up. AlDOT would come in and pick them up and haul them off, haul them to the city landfill at no charge to the city, and no charge from the city back to them for the landfill usage. And then Russell Lands would herbicide that right-of-way twice a year into perpetuity. So if this is agreed to, Russell Lands will forever and ever, as long as a Patriot Point exists, they will herbicide it twice a year, and that will prevent the trees from growing back. So I would look at this kind of as a clarification of something that was done in 1991.
And actually, Russell Lands came to you with this proposal as far as
They didn't come with exactly the proposal. They came with, how can we fix this?
Okay.
There was an agreement, and nobody knows what to do. Where are we going to go from here? So between the city, AlDOT, Russell Lands, and the city attorney, this is what we kind of came to. So
as far as who actually owns that property is owned by Alabama.
100% AlDOT. None of this is city property.
Okay, I'll make that clear. Any other questions?
I guess, how quickly will work begin on that?
The resolution is written to hopefully start it by the end of July. We would have liked to have gotten it on the previous agenda, but by the time all the agreement was put together, it was too late. And, we weren't going to call a special meeting just to approve an agreement. So certainly we would have liked to have had it on the previous agenda, and we could have maybe started by now, maybe not, maybe we could have. But even so, we still hope to start by the end of July, and we would hope that it would be a fairly quick process once it started. And then basically we would be done with it. It would fall on AlDOT and Russell Lands from there, and we would be out of it. So that is hopefully how it would go. We won't have to revisit this ever again. Is the way that was the way it was written to be intended, that we do this one time and we're done.
And some other question is, and I think I know, but just to clarify, who's responsible for the replacement of the flag and the lighting?
Russell Lands is totally responsible. Very good point. Not only were they responsible for herbiciding from now on twice a year to keep anything from growing back, it will be completely on them to replace the flag, to maintain the lights, and pay for the electricity. Again, we would be out of it at that point.
And they also pay for destruction of
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows. I appreciate that.
Okay, item number 9 is a request to approve a retail retail beer and retail wine, all premises, ABC license for Patriots on the corner of 63 and Coven Abbott Road. I guess that's 6507. This is the new Patriot gas station that's built down there on Wing Creek Road. Randy, you want to say anything about it?
It has, as always with ABC license, we submit to the village review, and then we submit to T-Turn, and both, both.
Question?
No, we only do it, right? Well, no, sorry. It's several.
Yeah, it's very tastefully done. I'd like to say that. It's very nice there on the corner. So,
Yeah.
they've done a great job on it. I see the one you have in Lineville too, and I go by it.
All right, thank you. Then we'll have comments from the mayor, finance director, city clerk, and comments from the council. All right, this time let's go ahead and get started with the regular council meeting. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Colvin to lead us in opening prayer, and Al Jones to lead us in pledge of allegiance.
All right, everybody will bow your heads. Father God, it's at this time that we come to you and we ask you for your guidance, Lord Jesus. We thank you for the opportunity to serve. We ask you to lead us in the way that you would have us to go, so that Alex City will be a light that shines for all to see. That we are not only here about the city's business, we're also here about our Father's business, Lord Jesus. We ask you to touch everyone that is sick, anyone that's in bereavement. We thank you again for the opportunity. We know without you we have nothing. We continue to lift our city up to you, our city employees, our mayor, and our council member. We ask you to touch all citizens at this moment. Let them know that you are the guiding light they need. We thank you again. These and all prayers we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Take the flag, salute, pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this time we need a motion to approve the minutes for July the 6th, 2020 regular council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
Make a motion, we approve the July 6th, 2020 regular council meeting minutes as presented.
Okay, we got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion approved and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yay.
Councilman Chris Brown? Yay for me. Then we need to approve tonight's agenda for July 20th. I need a motion to approve the agenda and to remove the public hearing and ordinance concerning the moratorium by postponing to a later date. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the removal of item number 1.
Got a motion approved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion approved and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yay.
Councilman Chris Brown? Yay for me. Public hearing, there will be none. Reports from standing committee. Finance committee, I met with Sandy a little bit earlier this evening, just to go over where we stand with city finances. Of course, we're still working on 2018 audit, and hopefully that'll be ready to present pretty soon. Carson Riggs is handling that for us. And also, we're right in the middle of the 2021, getting our budget for 2021 underway, so that we have that turned in and ready to go for October. That's basically it as far as the finance committee for now. Public safety committee, Chairperson Tapley.
No report.
Utilities committee, Chairperson Chris Brown.
No report.
Parks and Rec, Chairperson Hardy.
I'd like to brag on Sonny and the rest of the department. The last month, Sportplex has hosted several tournaments, including the World Series tournament this weekend, and from the directors to the spectators, everybody was so complimentary of how helpful and how diligent our workers were in making sure that the field was in pristine condition. So not only is this something for us to spotlight our community, it's a way for us to generate revenue through tourism as well as some sports. I think we're seeing as a primary vehicle for that. So I'm really proud of the guys, and hats off to Sylvan and the rest of the guys who were part of the tournaments the last month or so.
Thanks, Scott. Public Works Committee Chairperson Eric Brown. Building and Property Chairperson Buffy.
No report.
Okay, proclamations, there's none. Reports from Special Committee, none. Reports to Finances, none at this time. Unfinished business, none. Under new business, we'll go to item number 2 tonight.
Resolution 2078, a resolution to award bid 2018 Acre Paving FY 2020 to Gary Ingram Grading and Paving for an amount not to exceed $895,349.33.
Do we have a motion to approve the resolution as written?
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Got a motion to approve, we have a second.
Second.
Motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yeah.
Councilman Chris Brown?
Yeah.
Yay for me. Item number 3.
Resolution 2079, a resolution to set a public hearing to rezone parcel 620509321000.002.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution as written?
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Got a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yeah.
Councilman Chris Brown? Yay for me. Item number 4.
Resolution 2080, a resolution to set a public hearing/appeal to revoke the business license for Listen Night Shop for August the 3rd, 2020 at 5:30 p.m.
Do we have a motion to approve the resolution as written?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Got a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion approved and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yeah.
Councilman Chris Brown? Yay for me. Item number 5.
Resolution 2081, a resolution to declare personal property no longer needed for public or municipal use.
We have a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Got a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion to approve and a second. Any discussion?
Just glad to be cleaning our warehouse. Supply down. Get a little money in the bank.
Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yeah.
Councilman Chris Brown?
Yeah.
Yay for me. Item number 6.
Resolution 2082, a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute an Alabama Recycling Fund grant agreement with the Alabama Department of Environmental Management.
We have a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion we approve the resolution as written.
Got a motion to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
Motion approved and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yeah.
Councilman Chris Brown?
Yeah.
Yay for me. Item number 7.
Resolution 2083, a resolution to authorize the mayor to apply for the 2020 Edward Ryan Justice Assistant Grant and execute upon approval.
We have a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve as written.
Got a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Motion approved and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yeah.
Councilman Chris Brown?
Yeah.
Yay for me. Item number 8.
Resolution 2084, a resolution to designate right-of-way maintenance responsibilities at Patriots Point.
We have a motion to approve the request as written.
Make a motion to approve it as written.
We got a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion to approve and a second. Any discussion?
I'm just glad to see that this area's gonna get cleaned up, because it had got looking a little raggedy. Glad to see that everybody's taking pride in our American flag, make sure that area stays the way it should.
Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yay.
Councilman Chris Brown? Yay for me. Item number 9.
A request to approve a retail beer and retail table wine off-premises ABC license for Patriots on the Corner, located at 6507 Highway 63 South.
We have a motion to approve the resolution as written.
Make a motion to approve it as written.
We got a motion to approve. Do we have a second? A motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Councilman Tapley?
Yay.
Councilwoman Colvin?
Yay.
Councilman Hardy?
Yay.
Councilman Eric Brown?
Yay.
Councilman Chris Brown? Yay for me. Comments from our mayor?
Couple of things. One of the things David Lee Wyckoff organized last Saturday, they put one effort in that, really great idea. Maybe it's not as well treated as we'd all want, but it's definitely worthwhile. Maybe do one for that, maybe do it a different location, or maybe when it's not so hot, it might be a better time. But anyway, it was good today, trying to promote peace in our community, and doing a good job of that. That's really good. Also, relationships with our police and our community. Anything we can do, we have a, I think, a very good relationship with our police, and that is just make it even better. I want to echo Scott's comments about all the softball tournaments going on over there. Well, baseball too, last month, we got there. This past weekend, the World Series for softball, girls playing eight-year-old bracket all the way to 1400. So there were 37 teams here. It was crowded Friday, Saturday, Sunday over there. Our team did a great job. We have a lot of confidence on those things with our backpack giveaway program that we had last Friday, very successful. I'm going to invite Dana Fuller to share a few words about that. Let her tell you about it.
I just want to give the council an update on the backpack program. It was a huge success. We gave out over 1,400 backpacks,
Awesome.
1,000 people. Even though it was extremely hot, we had a good turnout for parents and kids, a lot of smiles, a lot of photos. So I want to do some thank yous today. I want to thank Mayor Sprague for coming up with the idea and letting me run it. He let me run with it, and I had a ball doing it. I want to thank the council for approving for us to be able to do that. It really, really meant a lot. I also have to thank our city employees and volunteers, so it's going to take a minute, but I cannot express how the city come together to do this project at just a moment's notice. LC Police Department Chief Turner, Captain James Orr, Sergeant Ken Barnum, Animal Control. He stubbed, he directed traffic, he done everything that I could ask him to do. Our dare officers, David Johnson, Brian Ray, Martin Stiller, Vicki McCall, Nancy Callahan, and David Callahan, and all them working for the police department. LC Fire Department, Reese McAllister, Jeff Brewer, and his crew. Jeff cleaned up, packed up, whatever he could do, he called the guys on month's notice, they were back, they had. Fred Carr, 60 McCain, Sausage Stewart, and just be more with fire department, whatever he needed. The Sports Flex Group, Sonny Wilson, Rick Gagnon, Brandon Clayton, Adam Ashford, anything to bring the fans to water, coolers, ice, anything we need. City Hall, Sherry Johnson, she passed out immensely. Our water department gave you some of the simplest turning on the water, and using water to stay up. handed out backpacks. Mr. Thompson, United Way, Sharon Ford, her girl, Ellis City School of Board of Education, Dr. Keith Langford, Ellen Martin, Karen Carr, Jessica Sanford. They know our students, we made it hours, so they came and they stuffed backpacks and they handed out backpacks. And one little girl said, this is one from her. She was so excited to. One more thing I have to brag about is Mayor Clayton, Scott Head. They have some girls softball team, the World Series tournament this weekend. I attended to watch my niece actually playing and play in the World Series, and her team, the Big Hives, actually won the World Series. I just want to say that, because I traveled all over the state playing by myself. I've watched my sisters play, their kids, my kids. I have never seen a group work together like this group did. The fields were fantastic. In between games, they got them all ready. And the one thing I noticed, Rodney Johnson is painting the bases. I'm glad we could find the bases. He actually spray painted the bases. So big shout out to Sonny Wilson, Brian Little, Rodney Johnson, Adam Ashford, Chris Russell, Nick Payne, Daniel Mays, Toby Thompson, Keith Lane, Jamie Taylor, Ty Brown, Thomas Wilson, and Ryan Slade. I know that's a lot of thank yous, but our city employees, they deserve to be recognized when they come together like that. Every department came together to backpack play. Appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. I love our city employees, and thanks again to the mayor for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
Right? Got some more? Through, okay. Comment from Finance Director. Sandy, got anything? Comments from a city clerk. I'm sure Amanda's got several things. And those were picked up at City Hall, right? Sure. All right, thank you, man. Comments from the council. Councilman Tappy.
Just thank everybody for coming out, all the city employees for what you do. I had something else, I just slipped my mind. Especially David Lee Wyckoff, he is a leader in the community. He tries to do a lot to keep the community together. I know the mayor recognized him earlier. Just want to reiterate what he means to this town, where he tries to bring unity. And I know these masks, I hate wearing them, but it's an ordinance handed down by our governor. Hopefully everybody adhere to those orders and hopefully slow this progress of COVID-19, and hopefully it will slow down enough that come July 31st we can take these things off. So just be safe and continue to pray for our city, our community, our nation, wide. That's all. Thank you.
Anybody? Councilwoman Colton?
First of all, thank you to our city employees. You all are awesome. Y'all do a great job. Thank y'all so very much. Dana, thank you for spearheading it, getting it together, and being so enthusiastic about it. I had so many people call me and say thank you, and I was like, I had nothing to do with it, y'all. I just put it out there for y'all. So thank you. That was awesome. They really did enjoy it. I know everybody didn't want to wear their mask. They're tired of it, but I'll say to you again, hopefully the mask will help alleviate the amount of patients that we receive at Russell Medical Center. I'd rather see you in a mask than to see you on a ventilator. So always remember that. No matter what the problem is, no matter what the mask makes you feel like, I've been in mine since November 1. So for me, it's an old habit. Remember, Buffy wants to see you in a mask, not on a ventilator. Let's do what we can to make sure we keep ourselves safe and healthy, but also the people in our community who cannot fight this disease if they do become infected. I thank y'all for the opportunity to serve. I ask y'all to continue to work with us and continue to pray for us. Thank y'all. Have a great week.
Thank you, Becky. Councilman Scott Hardy?
Just like to add on to what the mayor and Councilman Tackett said about David Lee. Saturday's been something I hope to see more of. And again, anytime we have an opportunity to strengthen the community relationship with law enforcement, I think we have to take advantage of those opportunities. And she did a lot of thank yous, but nobody deserves a big thank you to Dana. Friday was a lot of fun. It was hot, but it was a lot of fun. And it's still over 1,400 backpacks were given out, and even some additional ones were had a nice week. Just some members in the community who were able to attend Friday. So, Dana, thank you for all your work on Friday and for organizing the backpack program.
Thank you, Scott. Councilman Eric Brown?
Thank everybody for coming out. Did a good job, Dana. And I'm not surprised as far as employees, that's the greatest asset the city has. The entity, the city, as are the employees. We do have the wonderful. It's one thing I've enjoyed the most being on the council is getting to know a lot of employees. And had to keep bringing up David Lee's name. Well, I don't hate to because he did a great job. My son played so hard for those 3 or 4 hours on that slide that he was asleep as soon as we got home, which is super rare. So David didn't make anybody happy. Those little kids on that water slide had a blast. So thank you for him and all his guys that put went to a lot of effort to set that event up. Just thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Eric. Councilman Chris Brown?
Thanks everybody who's attending and watching. Thanks for it. I reiterate whatever I have to say. Thank you, our employees and the guys that have been busting their tail out there, fixing these fields in this heat, along with the leading group. And just hope everybody has a good week.
Thank you, Chris. I don't really have anything to add. I know we have a League of Municipalities meeting Thursday in Montgomery. I think that just about all of us are going to be going to. I'm really surprised they didn't cancel it because of the mask thing, but it is still going on. I think Tommy told me the agenda has been shortened pretty good, so maybe we'll have to spend the whole day down there. But other than that, everybody have a good week. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I know y'all are hard to believe, I've got to thank somebody. Denise Walls, EDA, was awesome. I did for anybody, I'm
Yep.
sorry, I really appreciate that.
Anytime you start naming names, you're always going to forget
That's
somebody
right,
down there.
I had to do that for the city employees.
Okay. We got a motion to adjourn and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand.